Guys. So I'm in Dunkin' Donuts here, and it's actually right next to Patty's. I went in here, and they had a bathroom that I can use. I wanted to talk about that. I think people don't get what it means to say no to people when they ask you to use their bathroom, right? First of all, you're disgusting because you're making them hold it in. All right? We've all been there. Not pleasant. Second of all, you're a bad businessman because if you let them use your bathroom, they're going to come back and give you business. But instead, your character is failing you, and all the marketing you're going to do in the world is going to be worth nothing because no one wants to deal with you because you're a jerk. Because only a jerk doesn't allow someone who needs to use the bathroom to use the bathroom. But how did we get here? How did we all become jerks? So everyone's a jerk? No. I mean, yeah. But how did it happen? It happened because one big guy who's a dummy, he only has money. His family doesn't like him because he's not nice to them. He hasn't made any efforts in life, right? God blessed him with the money, but he hasn't made any efforts. So he's crappy. He's always in a bad mood. People only want to talk to him because he has money. If he went broke, he wouldn't be able to get a cup of coffee in Timbuktu. But he started this. He did it, so someone else saw that it was okay. And then that thing that I told you about the sheep, the 80%, the 100,000 people that are controlled by two dogs, they saw it too. That's all. All the bad crap that you see out here, all the things that make you exhausted, right? I'm talking to the people out here who are Oved Hashem. What does it mean, Oved Hashem? They live what they do in shul, right? So when we go to shul, if you're going to shul to do Hashem a favor or to complete your 3 times a day thing so that you have a good conscience about yourself, any of those reasons are garnering you about 3%, maybe 3.3% of the mitzvah. The other 96.7, that comes with the heart. So when you show up in shul and you're talking, even in learning, you're an idiot, right? Because let's say, we're not going to talk about the presidents these days because it's a little bit annoying, but let's say Ronald Reagan invited you to his office. You, little poor guy, by the way, you would show up with his book and open it up in front of him and say, I'm sitting with you, but I'm going to read your book because I'm a moron. That's what each and every one of you guys who come with a learning book to shul, that's what you look like. You're actually trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You're not a learner. A learner takes his free time, his expensive time, the time that he would sit around and do nothing and relax, and he gives that to Hashem. You want to do you want to do Shabbos, you want to do davening, and you want to do learning all at the same time, so that when you're sitting with your neighbors, you can tell them that you have a chavrusa and that you bring a book to the sefer to the doctor's office, but you never learn otherwise. And if the 2 of us got together, I'd wipe the floors with you. Because you don't actually have a geschmack in the Gemara. If you're learning during davening, you don't understand geschmack. Because geschmack is giving 100%. During davening, you can't give 100%. So not only are you trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, you're also giving Hashem a lame effort. So right now, all that stuff that you thought was good is really bad. Right? Right? So all these big guys, they show up to shul. The Gemara in Bracha says that running the last block to shul will garner you a tremendous amount more schar than actually davening. Right? So I run sometimes that last block when I remember. I'm sure people think I'm weird for it. But it says it in the Gemara, right? And we all love the Gemara. Talmud Torah Keneged Kulam. All these beautiful things. Yeah. Where are they now? You're a joke. The first step is that you have to admit that you're a joke. You're not a Melamed. And it's your own fault. The system didn't fail you. You are the system. The only way that you can reel this back in like a fisherman is if you start backing up. And one backs up with his head down. You keep your head up, you might get hit by a foul ball, right? No one wants to get hit by a foul ball. Or maybe a garbage can falls on your head, you know? Who wants that? But that only happens to people who are looking up when they should be looking down. When you look down, you understand where your place is. How do I know? I've been looking down for 5 years. 5 years, right? Look at this. Look at this puddle right here. I walk through puddles. Is it an issue for me? No. What's an issue for me is when I'm watching you guys butcher the Ribbono Shel Olam's Ratzon. And that's exactly what you're doing. And the people that are doing it are the most from. And yeah, I'm coming down hard on you. And it's a separate thing from the yeshiva taina. This has nothing to do with the yeshiva taina. This is something you created after you left yeshiva. So there's the yeshiva system, which is broken, except for Darchei Torah, which is completely running like an automated Jewish tank machine. I know the Lubavitchers have the mitzvah tank, but I think Rabbi Bender and Darchei Torah, they might be dealing with something very, very different than that, you know? Maybe like a stealth bomber, right? So they know what they're doing. How do I know? I prayed there 2 weeks in a row. Every day, boom, I show up. I see the same kids doing the same thing. These kids are saying brachot out loud for the tefillin. And they're Ashkenaz, they're not Sephardic. These kids are behaving properly. These kids are freaking incredible. I see them everywhere, I love them. What do they do? What do they do, right? So what do they do at Darchei Torah? What's so good about Darchei Torah? So I will be honest with you, I'm not that close friends with them. I'm more of a fan, right? Like Mickey Mantle is a big-time baseball player, or whatever, Ken Griffey, or whoever is there, Tatis Jr., he's big-time, right? So I'm a fan of Rabbi Bender. I look at him, he's doing a lot of things that I can't do, and Rabbi Baruch Bar Bender also doing things I can't do. So I'm grateful to them, but I don't have a relationship with them yet. And I live 2 blocks away from the yeshiva, and I go there all the time because sometimes I run and I do things. So I pass by there, and I mean, it's just a source of nachas. But unfortunately, there isn't another yeshiva like that. I don't care, whoever you are. You think your yeshiva is not like that. Unless you sat with the Bender people and they told you, then you're not doing what they're doing. You can't think like Rabbi Bender, because you can't think like me either, right? So I hope that Rabbi Bender agrees with me on this one, because it'll be embarrassing if he doesn't, but I'll stick to my guns. I think I have something in common with Rabbi Bender. I was recently put on ADHD medicine, and then the dose was doubled. I'll be honest with you. I have ADHD, boom. You know, I got it. And I think that Rabbi Bender maybe has it also. Because what happens with ADHD is you're brilliant. Your brain is freaking brilliant. And it works so fast, right? So all the people around you who are working slower, it makes you crazy. You don't mean to be a certain way, but it makes you crazy. It does physically, it makes me crazy, right? If someone stepped on my toe hard enough, I'd be out, right? It's the same thing. So here's the greatness of Rabbi Bender, the senior Rabbi Bender. I just figured it out right now. Even though he sees everything everyone else doesn't see, he's still nice to everybody. You know how hard that is? Do you have any idea how much I'm struggling with that right now? You think I want to be nice to everybody? These people, they butchered me coming up. I was trying to get a job. You know, I went to over 100 job interviews. I worked at Dunkin' Donuts for 2 days. And I only quit because my rabbi said you can't touch the meat and milk. And on the 3rd day, they were hitting up the meat. It was that disgusting... You can't imagine how bad that smells. I was so happy that I didn't have to go back. But we have to do hishtadlus, right? So I had to go back. I had to do my job. And I, you know, Again, I lost my train of thought. Listen, I'm back on Central Avenue here. It's such a nice place. And the world's such a nice place to live. All we have to do is institute kindness. I know it's a big jump, but once you get there, you'll feel so good. You're not going to have to look behind your back because you're going to be saying the truth. You're not going to have to be embarrassed because everyone's doing it too. So come on.